Hey guys, back here with another video. We got a very special guest, Krasi, um, very expert astrologer here. And today we are going to. I just wanted to introduce you guys. Obviously, you guys have seen we've done some previous videos on her channel before, but I really wanted to give her the proper introduction on my channel and so that way you guys know where to find her exactly. Link will be in the description of this video. You guys can reach out and do whatever you feel. But welcome, Krasi. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dustin. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
So, how do you feel with? Have you been having a lot of clients reach out to you based on all these energies that are happening right now?
Yes. Speaking about the energies, well, this was predictive, and we spoke about, yeah, well, predictive, I mean, we knew that important cycles of slow trans-Saturn in planets are coming, but to such extreme. So we were hoping that this will, like I was hoping that this will not manifest itself. What I mean, Dustin, is uh, where to start from. Maybe two, three words I can say about this cycle so that people imagine how the sky influences us. So I will bring you back to, I think it was 21st January 2021. Then on the sky, we had very rare conjunction between Jupiter and Saturn, and this conjunction was rare because the two planets, when they came together, they looked as if they are one star, and this phenomenon was called the Star of Bethlehem. I'm not sure if this was really the Star of Bethlehem when Jesus was born, but anyway, this was how people would call this conjunction. So the same way um, Jupiter, Saturn together looking like one star happens once in 800 years. So from there, the Great Awakening started. And then they served us as a result, so that, we were served the disease. I don't want to call the name, so that so that you can keep your channel. They served us the disease to upgrade, to put us back in asleep. So you had this. Then we had other cycles. According to the Hermetic um, laws, you have the universe has cyclical, circular structure, and we have cycle within cycle within cycle. So simultaneously, we had other cycles like Saturn Pluto conjunction, which was the great change of the structures, the matrix. And now, guess what? We had in 2025 three times Saturn Neptune conjunction in sidereal Pisces. One word just to say to the people who do not know, sidereal astrology is showing the true astronomical placements of the planets and the stars, just like the Babylonians would look at the sky. So that's simple. What you see on the sky, this is what you see in your horoscope. Though the modern tropical astrology is, of course, infiltrated by some forces, and you see just projection of the true placements on the ecliptic on the path of the sun. So say this to continue my thought. We had Saturn, Neptune coming together in the same degree in Pisces, and in 2025, the three times they met, it was in the 7-degree Pisces, and it was already very big. And when you look historically, this would always bring wars. This would bring revolutions. French Revolution happened on this. Then you also had the Berlin Wall fell, Egyptian-Russian war, only such events, like big revolutionary events. But now, when this conjunction was repeated for the last time, it happened again in Pisces, but it happened in the 6th degree. Why the degree is so important? Because it is only 1 degree away from the point of the vernal equinox. Big thing is this, very strong degree. Also, because this was the last time the two planets meet. The impact is major, massive, like what we saw. I expected this. I even mentioned this couple of times that we will have revolutionary events, but I was really hoping that it will not go really out of control in such ugly way. Now, also, why this was so impactful? Because it happened between the two eclipses, in the corridor of eclipses. This gives additional fuel to the event. And one more thing to tell you, on the 3rd of March, at the day of the second eclipse, which was total lunar eclipse, big thing. So on the day of the total lunar eclipse, Saturn disappeared. So it's also another very big thing. So this is what I could say for introduction, because when we speak about astrology, of course, people would expect to hear some predictions. And I say these events now are as a result of this conjunction and other things, but mainly this revolutionary conjunction.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Um, to be honest, I haven't really been keeping up much. Obviously, um, I do know what's going on. Do I know every little detail? No, but do I really need to know? I mean, that's debatable, you know? Um, I know a lot of people are struggling with a lot of these things right now. Um, but what can you do? If there's nothing we can single-handedly do, yeah, why even worry about it? The only thing that we can do is extend the love, the compassion to everybody around. And hopefully that just rubs off enough to where everybody, follows suit. But all we can do is do our best. And that's what we're here doing right now. Um, and I think this is really just the beginning, and just like anything good in history, after all these events, there were great things to come. All this really is it's a lot of transformation. I know it's really hard for a lot of people to handle, but in order to restructure things, you gotta destroy what was there, and hopefully to rebuild in a better manner. And I actually do really I have a really good outlook on that. I really feel like after everything is, you know, destroyed, so to speak, we have a chance. We have a choice whether we're going to build this thing good or we're going to get back on the same cycle again.
See, I agree with you, but I have also something to add here. You know what we spoke before starting this recording. Um, see, because of these cycles, cycles within cycles, when we start awakening, the ones that are, I don't know how to call them. The matrix doesn't like that we're awakening because they have to feed off our energies. So they need to upgrade the matrix to put us asleep again, like children, to put us asleep. And because they need to do that, they are programming, and they are very familiar with astrology. And the astrology they apply, be sure, is ancient. So they need to upgrade the matrix, and they upgrade the matrix by creating events which will put us eventually in this state again. And these events are, if you look historically, always like this: wars, diseases, famine, hunger. These are the events they like to project on us. So when we said, what can we do? We can do. Of course, it's not wise to be like to try to be hero in this situation, because the heroes unfortunately get eliminated almost immediately. But what is very smart to do is to absolutely not, like you do and I do, not to really think about this so much, not to fall in this scenario, not to allowed to be to go in the state of fear, anxiety, worry, then finish, then you're gone, you're with the you are in the theater, you participate, right? So this is what we can do. Absolutely not allow us to be manipulated.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in agreement. I mean, fear, that's what they're looking for. That's
Mm.
exactly the key
Yeah,
ingredient to the
yeah. Key
recipe.
ingredient of the soup.
Yeah, like, they need it. They need people to be in fear, but
Yes.
I think once people come to the realization, "What do I really have to lose?"
Mm.
If you actually know what you're doing here and why you came here, and you have the where, what, why, who, and how figured out, or even mostly figured out, we don't die. It's okay. See you on the next trip, you know? Like, we'll get them next time, whatever.
Next time
But,
better.
yeah. But, we just have to do our best, and there's really nothing to fear
No.
once we know all those things. It's just the story attached to it that is able to induce all that fear so people can cling to it. Because, like you said, they try to put us to sleep and, you know, all these things just so they can induce the fear, the panic, um,
But
all those
this is
lower
very serious.
vibrational.
Yeah, very serious, Dustin, because we're part of the collective. And when many people are in fear, this is really pulling us down, and they will really succeed. So the more we are projecting, like our main mood, like if you have 30 days of the month, 30 days you need to be brave and absolutely try not to fall in this, because they take the average, the they take the like it's like mathematics, the universe, what we project, they take just the average number. It has to be of high frequency. This is what we project. We connect with others like us, and when you project low frequency, everything goes low and it's very dangerous. So we cannot allow to ourselves, we cannot afford to be, otherwise we will sink together.
Yeah, no, 100%. And last fall, around October, I started to feel a split. And I didn't really kind of understand it at first. And I think what I was feeling was just the people splitting into two categories of, okay, you're on this side because you're stuck in fear and you refuse to see the way out, you know? And then you have the other people that are just like, yeah, what can we do? All we can do is do our best. What I can do, you know, is literally just do my best, extend all those great things to the people around. The frequency rubs off and the frequency elevates others. And then it's kind of like a pay it forward kind of system, I guess you could say, because then once you have all these people at a higher vibrational level, then their frequency is rubbing off too. But then we have to have awareness too for those that we can't do anything.
Yeah.
We can't do anything. The only thing we can do is work on the best thing this planet can do is for everybody to go internally and start working on themselves. If everybody could do that and work on raising their frequency, getting strong in themselves, this place would change almost
Uh-huh.
immediately.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, it's interesting. And a lot of people, you also have to remember that they play on emotions, you know?
Uh-huh.
They play on emotions, all this stuff, Why do you think they put all these emotional stories on the news? Because they're trying to get you to play into the story. They're trying to get you emotionally hooked into it, so that way they got you. Then they go, "Oh, we got him. Okay, cool. He's super vulnerable and emotional right now. Let's hit him with a little fear,
True.
you know, sprinkle on a little scarcity, a little bit of lack, self-doubt, and then next thing you know, they're like, "Man, we're cooking up this real nice," you know? So, but we can't fall into that. We can't fall into any of that, and now is not the time for those things because more so than ever right now, this place needs people to vibrate a lot higher. The planet, no matter what, the planet's still gonna be here. The question remains, are we gonna be here?
Yeah.
You know? And the reality is yeah, are we gonna be here? Bob, I don't know. I guess it's a personal choice, right? Because people are gonna get so stuck in the negativity and so stuck in the fear that they manifest themselves off of this planet all at the
Yeah.
same time too, you know? So think about that for a minute. Like, people are so powerful that they can manifest themselves into all different types of bad situations, but if that's so true, then we can actually do it for the opposite as well, right?
Very true.
So, we gotta keep our mind sharp, strong, and try to live with an open heart to the best that we possibly can, but that's what's wrong with the world is there's more people walking around with closed hearts and blocked hearts than open hearts.
Hmm.
So,
And this is another, like what you said, just reminded me of another IQ test, like the second IQ test. We had one with the disease situation in 2020, 21, 22, a good IQ test. And we see now who failed, who passed. I will not discuss this, people know. And now we have another one. We have to, that's why when we had this experience just so recently, we all experienced it together. Now we are not allowed to fail. Now we are trained. So yeah, we are trained. What we can do, you see, this reminds me of the prophecies, which are also very astrological, of course. And astrologically, we, again, speaking about cycles, you have this, the biggest cycle, which is called God's year. This is 25,000 years. And then this giant cycle, you split into 12 mini cycles. And then each one of these mini cycles is 2,000 some hundred years. So now we are completing such mini cycle, and also the giant cycle we're completing, and we're completing the mini cycle. When we complete the cycle, we live in such thing which is called end times, which is biblical. Indeed, we live in biblical times. All this was predicted by prophets and some contemporary prophets. Recently on my channel, I was discussing the Russian angel, this small boy in Russia, in Siberia, who died when he was 10. And he came and actually he predicted everything to such, you know, to such, he was so exact, so correct. So we live in such times where we chose to live in these end times. End times doesn't mean that this is end of the world. It is meaning simply that we are completing one cycle to enter another. And these cycles, this is very important because this cycle in astrology, this 2,400 year cycle, we divide again into 12. And this division, we divide one zodiacal sign, which is the Pisces, because we live in the Pisces era still. So we divide the Pisces era into 12. And then mini cycles. Each cycle is 72 years. So now we know that we are still, that because, and this these cycles we count anti the direction of the zodiacal signs. So it's the other direction because it is about the celestial sphere movement, not about the zodiac. It's a little bit different. Anyway, so now we still have approximately 5 degrees, and then we leave the cycle of Pisces, which means that these 5 degrees, uh, each degree is 72 years count, like 360 approximately years. We still have to leave the cycle. But because the cycle is 2000 so many years, this is nothing from universal perspective. These 360 years, which we still have to live in the era of mini era of Pisces, the Christ essence, the Christ era. It is nothing, but because these are last years of the major 2400 year cycle, it's nothing. You see, it's still end times. Another detail to tell you: in 2014, 15, we change cycles. And from the cycle of Taurus, mini cycle, because we divide Pisces into mini cycle. So we abandoned cycle of Taurus and we entered cycle of Aries. This cycle of Aries started with what you see now. So this is end of times, biblical, propheted, predicted by prophets. So I don't know what to say. The times will be very intense. We cannot hope for very calm and peaceful lives.
Well, I agree 100% with that. But we can still have peace and happiness because it comes from within, right?
Yes.
Although, let's be honest, there's probably not a lot of people able to really do that right now, but it is possible. It is totally possible to have happiness and peace because peace and happiness doesn't come from external things, external
No.
beings. It comes from within. It comes from actually doing our work, sitting with ourselves, and really sorting out what's what and who's who, and who
Yeah.
are we? Who am I? You know? So even though the world could be up in flames, it doesn't mean that we absolutely have to be that way either. Now, if you want to look at it as a transformational process, then absolutely, this is a great time to transform, like really, truly. This is a really, and like I do want to hint on like what you said earlier too, like we chose to be here in this times. Absolutely, 100%. And I wouldn't have it any other way. In fact, I am honored to be here during these times because wow, this stuff is going to go back in the history books. And like we are literally a piece of history at this point.
Oh yeah. I like how you put it.
Like it's amazing. It's amazing. It truly is. It's truly amazing. Like literally we are a piece of history and we're going to be able to live to tell future generations about this time period, you know? And not only that, furthermore, we're going to carry these memories with us for many lifetimes
Oh, so
to
true.
go on, you know? So, I'm here for it. Let's go. We got this. We just have to look at it. We just have to get the right mentality, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something else. It's
It's so
something. It's
complex.
something.
It's so complex because when I think about like you and I like your way of thinking, I'm trying to think the same pattern, and I'm thinking, how do these people in Palestine think? Are they able to think this way when they went through so much suffering and losing their families? It's such a it's 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 very difficult.
And I totally understand that too. That is a great point. How can I put this? Remember, they also chose that too, right?
I know they chose, yeah,
And
definitely.
And you also have to remember this too. How many lifetimes did it take us to get where we are?
Mhm.
That's evolution, right?
Uh-huh.
So I understand and I have a lot of compassion and empathy for everything that's going on, but these people, these souls chose to be a living demonstration of exactly what is happening. And it doesn't make it right, it doesn't make it wrong. And you also have to remember this too. The inner does reflect the outer. And I know that's really probably gonna trigger the hell out of a lot of people when I say that. And then like, oh, how can you say that? Like, I get it. I know it's a rough story and it's like a rough time. I totally understand. And I have a lot of compassion and empathy for that. But I challenge you to look at yourself. I challenge everybody to look at themselves, look at everybody around them, look inside of yourself, see what's internal, and make your own analysis.
Mhm.
You know, it is what it is. We're all here on an evolutionary path. Whether in this life that's just learning just a little fragment of who you actually are, or here putting all the pieces together from many, many lifetimes to find out the bigger picture of who you really are and what you're here to really do.
Mhm.
Because in my opinion, everybody's end goal, we're all going to end up at the same place. It's just different times, you know? We're all going to the same place, and the same place what I mean is ascension, you know? Um are we all going to get to ascension at the same time? No. Look at all the ascended masters, you know? They they wouldn't be in the roles that they are because they've been in our shoes too.
Probably, yes, yes.
So, it's okay, everything's a process. We just have to learn how to come back to neutrality and really detach from the storyline
Uh-huh.
and the fear that really keeps us in that state. Because we could all look at see it and see what's happening and be like, "Oh, man, I really hope." I had somebody come to me yesterday, the day before, "Oh, did you hear all the cities that are gonna get attacked in the United States?" I'm like, "It's all good. Tomorrow's not promised, but it's okay. I'll catch him on the next round trip," you know? Like,
No,
what can we do?
tomorrow is not promised.
No. So, if we know that tomorrow's not promised, what is there to even fear?
No.
Like, because you're just gonna get yourself in such a state where you won't be able to get yourself unstuck from. And feeling like that, because trust me, I felt like that too. I've been there. So I do have the compassion and empathy to understand all those feelings because I've been there.
Mm.
But let me ask you this, like to everybody that's listening, where have those where have those thoughts, feelings, and emotions of staying there gotten you? Not very far. It feels heavy. It feels icky. Doesn't feel light,
No,
right?
no.
It's so heavy. It's so heavy. Our the whole purpose of all this is for everybody to get light right now. Shake it off. Shake everything that's loose, shake it off
Mm.
because it ain't coming with
The
you.
biblical times, exactly.
So, yeah, I guess that's my perspective in a nutshell.
Yes, yes, indeed.
All we can do is do our best. I mean, we're all in the same predicament. Just do your
Mhm.
best. Do your best. And, you know, wake up and be like, I'm going to have a good day today. I'm going to have a good day. And I'm not accepting anything less than a good day.
Yes. Yeah.
I know it's hard. Listen, I know I make it sound super
No, no, no,
easy
no,
and
no.
and
No, no,
whatever.
no. This is the way. What else can we do? This is the way. This is the
So,
way.
if you guys are feeling heavy out there, take off your shoes, go outside, touch a tree, talk to a tree. People might people might look at you crazy, but then you can just reflect back to them and be like, "Am I crazy or are you crazy?" I don't know. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day because they're not living your life in your shoes.
Yes, yes, yes,
So,
yes. Mhm.
and hey, if you can help somebody else, cool. That definitely helps a lot, but you got to remember too, you can't sacrifice yourself to help somebody else to where it puts you in a bad predicament either
Mhm, mhm,
because
mhm.
not good. Not good, you know?
No. Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So, it's gonna be alright. I'm pretty optimistic, at least in, you know, um, I know a lot of other countries are experiencing some interesting things. I think this is really just the beginning, but at the same time, I think it's really let's really think about this for a second. Do they really want all these things to happen physically? I don't think so. They're just gonna blow up their own stuff? I don't think so. They're gonna blow up their own stuff. They're gonna poison their own food supplies and all these things. I don't
Actually,
really think so.
interestingly enough, but it feels like, see, the interesting thing about this again, what I learned through astrology, they are doing this in cycles terrible for their countries. Like you see, America is in very difficult cycle, Pluto return and whatnot, soon Uranus return. Israel is doing it on a cycle totally devastating. Like they have Rahu cycle, one of the two lunar nodes, the heart in their horoscope. So the two countries are having very difficult cycles. When they do this, obviously this is self-destructive. And I'm starting to think, are they aiming self-destruction? And they do. I think they do. Otherwise, when you see this, why would you wanting to get worse? Only if you want self-destruction. And I like this, amazing Russian historian and philosopher Andrei Ilyich Fursov. You know what he said? He said, "Look at Trump. He looks like the drunk warrior. Remember Bruce Lee when he was drunk? How was he fighting and still destroying everything around himself? Trump is. He looks like stupid, crazy, and then he keeps destroying everything around himself. I think here I will not agree with you. I think they aim at self-destruction. They want to destroy Israel because they don't need Israel anymore, and they will destroy America. And soon America will not be. In 2, 3 years, you will see America falling into different parts. It will not be the same. I think they aim at self-destruction. It sounds a bit. I don't know how it sounds, but this is my conclusion.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I guess I meant more from like a nuclear perspective. Like destruction, oh, that's totally in the cards. Like that's already
Yeah,
baked into the cake, right?
yeah,
Destruction's
yeah.
baked into the cake, but destruction of the civilization and humanity
This
as
not.
a species, no, I don't think so. But is it going to be some really interesting and maybe some rough seas ahead? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like that, it to me is that's already baked into the cake. It's been baked in the cake,
absolutely.
but you know what? It's gonna build you know what kind of strong people it's gonna build? Oh my goodness. And you know what kind of transformation it's going to provide? Wow.
Absolutely. That's very true.
And
Sorry, I just took my
and
charger. My apologies. Yeah. Mhm.
oh no, 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 you're fine, you're fine. But yeah, no, so I'm totally with you. Like destruction is definitely on the horizon, and that's totally
Mhm.
cool. Basically, for me personally, I really think we have to go back to basics. I think we have to get more simple. I think that's really the key to all of this is people to get back to simplicity.
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm,
look at
mm-hmm.
how heavy, like, okay, I'll just use the United States because I'm here in the United States, right? So
Yes,
everybody here, like, I should say majority, they're just working to pay their bills. They're just working to put food on their table. They're just working to do all these things, right? That
yes,
really is just a basic human right at the end of the day.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
So,
true.
you know, it need yeah, this play it does. The structures, the current structures that do remain right now have to be destroyed. And I
Absolutely.
think once people recognize that simplicity is actually so much more fulfilling than all of this flashy stuff that doesn't make any sense, that doesn't really do anything for our soul, doesn't do anything for our spirit, that's when I think the real transformation starts to really set in, and we can start to build a better tomorrow.
Mm, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Like
agree about this. This is see this I agree, and this is part of coming era. I think in the era of Pisces, I don't know if we, especially end times, so intense, so biblical. I don't know. I think this is the way out of the matrix, exactly way out of the matrix. But this simplicity would more fit into the next era. So it would take time for us to get this perfection because the genius things, the perfect things are simple. The more complex one science or no complexity, I mean, yes, but in different way. The more things are, you see, complex, infiltrated, they're not authentic. Authenticity is a word that we're seeking.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, and out of this, people will be faced with just that. They won't have a choice but to be authentic because they won't be able to carry these illusions anymore, right?
Yes,
They won't be able to. It'll be virtually impossible for them to carry the illusion. So, whether they want to be authentic or not, they're not gonna have a choice. I mean, to some degree, you know? So, yeah, it's gonna be
Dustin,
fun.
I don't hear you. Would you be able to cut this because you I lost you?
Can you hear me now? Uh-oh. Yeah, sorry guys, we got cut off, Mercury retrograde, I guess, in full swing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just gonna kinda sum things up, and, I'm gonna pass it to Krasi and, let her kinda sum everything up for you, and definitely, Krasi, make sure you let them know where to find you. Your link for your channel is gonna be in the description as well.
Thank you,
Um,
thank
and
you.
I've personally done, you know, chart readings with, Krasi, and I definitely found them very valuable, so I hope you guys do as well, and there you go.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's summarize, Dustin, just to say that whatever things that we said about the cycles, the indeed important biblical times, this is so. But also we need to remember that we are creating our own reality through our thoughts, and in all these prophecies, end of time, one clear thing is said, and especially I speak about master beings. I don't know. I speak about the Russian angel. I made 2 videos on the Russian angel and his prophecies. People can see them on my channel. It's something amazing. They all say the following: when you are with God, when you are, and I don't want this to sound religious because we are not religious people, we are spiritual. But when you are with the Creator, when you have faith, you are absolutely protected. Even the Russian angel is speaking about hard events when the people that are with the Creator, they will be like so protected that the matrix will not see them. I think this is something positive. Let's maybe some finish here. and other time we can speak other things.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You're always welcome on the channel. It's always a good conversation.
Thank you.
Um, and I definitely appreciate what you do. I know because, it takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication to really dive in to all this head first like you have.
Oh, just
And
relax.
it takes
You too.
years. It takes years, you
Mhm,
know?
mhm.
It's not something that you just pick up for 5 minutes and then you're an expert. This takes years.
Yeah. Every true knowledge takes time, indeed. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Cressy. Thank you for coming on, and, it was a pleasure once again, and, can't wait to have you back. Until then, guys, much love, many blessings, and, much gratitude.
Thank you.